Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the Dugout, where I'm going to basically do a review of Game Week 3 of the Premier League. Now, we had some fantastic games of football, which resulted in 7 away victories this weekend, only 2 home wins and 1 draw. We will come to all those games, and I'll obviously go through which ones I watched as well, and I'll also go through the ones that obviously made the headlines. There were quite a few shocks, and we'll start with the Friday night game, which was Aston Villa beating Everton by 2 goals to 0. Now, as far as stats are concerned, possession, Everton had 65% possession, Aston Villa had 35%. Aston Villa had 7 shots, Everton had 12 shots. Everton had 1 shot on target. 1 shot. That is not good. 3 shots on target for Aston Villa. Villa didn't have any corners. Everton had 6, and there was 18 fouls for Everton and 10 fouls for Aston Villa. Immediate reaction to this game was that Everton were very wasteful. And it is quite proven that they can't seem to score goals at this present moment in time. Strikers are just not firing. Calvert-Lewin had a chance. He had a chance to score. Iwobi hit the post. Moise Keane, cross for Walcott. He missed as well. Aston Villa, they started the game on the back foot basically, and they took the lead through the run of play. Jota playing in Wesley, who was an absolute handful all night for the Everton back line, and he scored the opening goal for Aston Villa, and it was a very, very good finish to put it past Jordan Pickford, who, let's be honest, he didn't have a very busy game, but having said that, Villa thoroughly going at 1-0 at half time, and then obviously the second half comes out. Everton, like I said, they had their chances. Obviously Calvert-Lewin was blocked by Tyrone Mings, who I thought was absolutely outstanding in this game, considering that he got an injury in the warm up. Tyrone Mings was absolutely outstanding, and you can understand how big a player he is going to be for Aston Villa this season, for sure. And obviously the second half comes in. Aston Villa start the second half very, very well, and then obviously the changes are made for Everton. They bring on Iwobi, they bring on Moise Keane as well to pep it up, and also Walcott as well. Now, 2 of those players had chances. Iwobi hit the post. I think Heaton did have it covered. He might have got a slight touch to it, so he might have got a slight touch to that. So it was either a very good shot from Iwobi, obviously hit the post, or it was a very, very decent save from Heaton to put a fingertip onto that. And then Moise Keane plays in Walcott. You're thinking goal gaping. He blazes it over, and you're thinking it's going to be one of those nights for Everton, which happens in the 93rd minute, where McGinn plays in El Ghazi. El Ghazi puts the ball under Pickford, and it squirms into the back of the net. And Aston Villa win by 2 goals to 0 on Friday Night Football. So that win will obviously put the monkey off Dean Smith's back for sure. And it is a very good 3 points for Aston Villa. But for Everton, again, missed chances, and they may regret getting another striker. And I think goal scoring is going to be a bit of an Achilles heel for them so far. But once Moise Keane's up to scratch, and I don't think they can play Calvert-Lewin up front on his own. He's obviously going to need some help, because I think apart from that chance that he had against Villa, obviously the one where he obviously hit it, and obviously Tyrone Mings clears off the line, I think Everton are going to struggle. Sigurdsson didn't have a very good game either, and we would expect him to be playing very, very well. Also, I thought Andrew Gomez was a bit poor as well. So, but yes, very good one for Aston Villa. I'm not taking anything away from Aston Villa, but Everton's misfiring on goal definitely cost them. But it's 3 valuable points to Aston Villa. Now, that was the Friday night game. We come to the Saturday lunchtime game, which was an absolute classic between Norwich City and Chelsea. Chelsea took the lead in 3 minutes through Tammy Abraham. Todd Cantwell equalised 3 minutes later from very, very good play from Timu Pukki. He plays the ball in, and Cantwell gets ahead of Aspilicueta, and that's 1-1. And then Mason Mount, 11 minutes later, puts Chelsea's 2-1 in front, and you're thinking Chelsea could go in at half time 2-1 in front. But there's that man again, Timu Pukki. How many times have I said that this season so far? Timu Pukki is there, the right man at the right place. He puts the ball past Kepa to make it 2-2, and it's 2-2 at half time. And then Tammy Abraham scores a wonderful second goal. His first goal from outside the box as well. So it was a very, very great finish for Chelsea. And Abraham is the youngest Chelsea player to score a Premier League brace since 1998. So there we go. As far as the stats are concerned for this game, so it was 53% possession to Chelsea, 47% Norwich. Chelsea had 23 shots. Norwich had 6. Norwich had 5 on target, and Chelsea had 8 on target. So Chelsea were definitely deserved winners on this day. Chelsea had 8 corners. Norwich had 1 corner, and there was 9 fouls apiece between the sides. I honestly have to say this now. I was obviously working, so obviously I missed a little bit, but I did actually catch up with the first half of the Norwich City Chelsea game. What a game! What a game! Obviously Chelsea making the best start through Abraham. He obviously scored the opener, and then obviously Pukki plays in Todd Cantwell. He scores a very, very good goal for Norwich, and then obviously Mason Mount, again the man on form at the moment for Chelsea. Another goal for him, and he puts Chelsea 2-1 in front. And then obviously that man again, Pukki. That's 5 in 3 games now for Norwich. He's made a fantastic start to this season so far, and yeah, long may it continue. And he joins one player who has scored 5 goals in 3 games, and that was Pavel Pogrebniak for Fulham in, I think it was 2013-2014. So it was a very, very good start for Timu Pukki. And then obviously 2-2 at half time, and then obviously Abraham scores for to make it 3-2. So it's a very, very good win for Chelsea, and it gets Frank Lampard's first win as Chelsea manager. The only thing I'll say about this game, VAR was inevitable that it was going to be controversy. There were a couple of decisions that baffles you. I mean, my goodness. Chelsea should have had a penalty. I mean, Aspilicueta goes down under the challenge in the box, and you can actually see an angle that he actually gets kicked in the knee. So that could have been a penalty. But it's a very, very good win for Chelsea. But yeah, VAR, there was a tight decision for Abraham's second goal, but he was just onside. So obviously VAR won on that occasion. But I thought the refereeing was dreadful in that game. So, but it's a very, very good win for Chelsea, and they will go into next week's game full of confidence with that one. So now we come to the 3 o'clockers. And the first one was Brighton against Southampton. Now, Southampton won this game by 2-0. Now, obviously, Brighton played most of the game with 10 men, and I have to say, it is one of the shocking tackles of the season so far. I mean, it is high, it is late, it is literally above his knee. that Gineppo is very, very fortunate that he's not come off very, very lightly. He's very, he's very, very relieved that he's not actually gone off with a broken leg or anything. So, yeah, it wasn't a very, very good day for Brighton. And obviously, Gineppo scored a wonderful first goal for Southampton, cutting inside and curling it into the corner. And then obviously Redmond got the points for Southampton as well. So I think Brighton manager Graham Potter came out and said after the game that he cannot defend the challenge made by Florian Andoni because it was a shocking tackle. If you haven't seen it, then if you do see it, you might squirm because it was an absolute shocker of a tackle. Ralph Hasenhüttl, he obviously gets his first win this season for Southampton, and obviously that'll put some much needed confidence into Southampton. Obviously going into the game against Manchester United next Saturday lunchtime. Far as stats go in this game, well, obviously Brighton shaded possession with 51% to 49%. Both teams had 12 shots. Brighton had 3 shots on target. Southampton had 4 shots on target. Brighton had 8 corners. Southampton had 5 corners, and there was 9 fouls to Brighton and 10 fouls to Southampton. So, I think everyone had this as a draw written all over it, or a Brighton win. But Brighton still haven't beaten Southampton in the Premier League, so they are definitely. Southampton are definitely Brighton's bogey side when it comes to sort of derbies like that, and it's a very, very good away win for Southampton. So they win by 2-0. Obviously the red card changes the game dramatically, and Southampton take advantage of that, and it's a very, very good day around for Southampton. And a very good day around for Ralph Hasenhüttl, who gets his first win of the season. As for Brighton, they've started very, very well. A win and a draw, obviously. But yeah, this was a bad defeat. So you would hope that Brighton could pick up some points as soon as possible at the Amex. They definitely need to make their home ground a fortress this season. Now, the shock result of the 3 o'clockers for sure. Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 2. Now, who saw this? I don't think anyone saw this. This is Crystal Palace's first ever win against Manchester United in the Premier League era. So, stats as follows for this game. So, Manchester United had 71% possession. Crystal Palace had 29% possession. United very, very wasteful. 22 shots, 5 shots for Crystal Palace. Only 3 on target for Manchester United. 3 on target for Crystal Palace. Man United had 8 corners to Crystal Palace's 1, and Crystal Palace had 18 fouls to Manchester United's 8. Now, basically you'd have to say this was a one-sided game, but it's how to take your chances. Manchester United played the ball around loads of players, but didn't do anything with it. And Jesse Lingard is getting some very, very bad criticism from Manchester United fans, who I've seen a stat that he hasn't contributed a goal or an assist in 2019. That is really worrying, and especially for a number 10 player, you would expect much, much better from that. From him, it's quite difficult to say, because obviously Crystal Palace, it's the first goal. I mean, it's a basic long ball from Guaita. Obviously Benteke heads it on, and then Ayew scores very, very well past De Gea. But the defending for the first goal, I mean, Lindelof is beaten very, very easily by Benteke, but you would expect Maguire to sort of cover over. He was miles away from Lindelof, so you could have probably put 2 London buses through there for the space between Lindelof and Maguire. So that'll be a bit worrying for United. But you have to say that it was a very, very good goal for Crystal Palace to get just before half time, and then obviously you're thinking that Manchester United would come out. VAR again. I mean, it was a very controversial afternoon, but how on earth does Gary Cahill not get sent off? Because Martial is running through on goal. I know he is kind of turning away from goal, but Gary Cahill is the last man. It's a yellow. Apparently, the referee Paul Tierney thought it was a yellow card. Now, I'm sorry to say this, but surely VAR should come into effect there. That it should be upgraded to a red. No. Now, obviously, that was definitely a red card challenge for me, in my opinion. Now, VAR were involved in more controversy. Now, like I said, so Anthony Martial is running through on goal to then hit a shot, but he is being manhandled in the box. Now, for me, that is a penalty. But VAR didn't take any action. But Manchester United eventually get their penalty when McTominay goes down under the challenge of Milivojevic. That is given a penalty. Now, obviously Manchester United missed a penalty against Wolves. They missed another one against Palace. Marcus Rashford missed a penalty. It goes off the post and out of play. And you're thinking, oh, it's not going to be United's day. But in the 89th minute, Daniel James comes up with a very good goal, curled into the top corner. Good play from Martial as well for that one. And then you're thinking, Manchester United, they'll probably go on and win this. Wrong. Crystal Palace pick the ball from Pogba. Zaha plays in Patrick Van Aanholt. And, Van Aanholt, Zaha goes to the byline, cuts it back, and then Van Aanholt hits a shot where you think De Gea is going to save it, and it squirms under his body, which is very, very poor goalkeeping. So that's obviously Crystal Palace's first win in the Premier League era against Manchester United, and it came at Old Trafford this time as well. Another thing I want to say is Daniel James booked for diving yet again, but my goodness. Like I said, the referee for this game was absolutely ridiculous. Daniel James does not dive. He is caught on the knee. He is caught on the knee, so he is not diving. He is not diving there. So the referee got that wrong, completely wrong, and it was definitely not a booking for Daniel James. It should have been a free kick to Manchester United. So a shock defeat for Manchester United, and this is very, very worrying. That Manchester United have won 3 out of the last 15 games under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Is that a concern? I think it is, but they'll go into the game against Southampton next week hoping to bounce back. One other thing that I have noticed though, Paul Pogba was subject to racial abuse for missing a penalty against Wolves. Marcus Rashford was also subjected to racial abuse for missing a penalty for United against Crystal Palace. When is this going to stop, guys? When is this going to stop? I am absolutely fed up of reading about racial abuse. I really, really am. It's just getting frustrating. It's getting really annoying. It's just... Obviously, the chat with Twitter has obviously, backfired, but Manchester United will continue to find these culprits and get these idiots out of football. But yes, a very good one for Crystal Palace, shock win for Crystal Palace, and they win at Manchester United for the first time in the Premier League era. Now, the next game I'm going to review is Sheffield United against Leicester City. Now, the stats for this game were as follows. Let me just get quite even in possession. Sheffield United had 49% possession, Leicester had 51. Sheffield United had 8 shots, Leicester had 10. Sheffield United had 3 shots, Leicester had 2 on target, and 7 corners to Sheffield United, 4 corners to Leicester City. Sheffield United more fouls, 11 to Leicester 6. it's a very good win for Leicester City. Obviously, they get their first win of the season. Excuse me. It was a very, very good win for Leicester City, and Jamie Vardy will enjoy his goal against Sheffield United very, very much so, because obviously he is a boyhood Sheffield Wednesday fan, so he will enjoy that. He will definitely enjoy that. Obviously, he was getting booed throughout the match. Maddison plays a lovely ball into Vardy, and you're thinking Vardy can only finish, and he did. Top of the net. Very, very good finish there from Mr. Vardy. And then, Leicester going at 1-0 at half time. And, they were playing very, very well. And then, obviously, Sheffield United come back into it for a lovely goal from Ollie McBurney. This is first of the season, first since joining from Swansea City. So he obviously gets the equaliser. It was a very, very good header past Kasper Schmeichel. And then, obviously, you're thinking that Sheffield United have done well. They've done well to hold on to a point, but what a goal from Harvey Barnes. I mean, the cross comes in, Siyunku gets his head to it, and it falls to Harvey Barnes, who just hits an absolute sweet of a volley right into the top corner. And obviously Leicester, carve out the win, and it is a very good win for Leicester City, who are we will come to the table. I will come to the table very, 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 very shortly. But it was a very, very good win for Leicester City. And yeah, they'll go into next week's game against Bournemouth full of confidence, and it's a very, very good away win because obviously Sheffield United losing their first home game, but you know what? Sheffield United they will be pleased to start the season with 4 points. 4 points from 3 games. It's a very, very good start for Sheffield United. So they lost at the weekend, but it's a very, very good 3 points for Leicester City and Brendan Rodgers. So the final of the 3 o'clock games was Watford against West Ham. Now the stats for this game were as follows. Watford had 55% possession. West Ham had 45% possession. Watford had 23 shots to West Ham's 16. Watford only had 3 shots on target. To West Ham had 10 shots on target, so that's much, much better from West Ham. 8 corners to Watford, 7 corners to West Ham. 12 fouls for Watford and 11 fouls for West Ham. So obviously West Ham took the lead after 3 minutes when Mark Noble scored a penalty, and it was 15 years to the day that he made his debut for West Ham. So it was very, very good for him to score on that day, on that special day. And then obviously Watford equalised. A very, very good finish from Andre Gray. He picks up the ball sort of right centre of goal, and he lashes a shot past Fabianski. It was a fantastic finish from Andre Gray. So obviously 1-1 at half time. Obviously both teams would be pretty pleased with that. And then obviously West Ham, they take the lead again through Sebastian Haller's first goal for the club. Very, very good finish, very, very good counter-attacking from West Ham. Results in a very simple finish for Haller. That's obviously 2-1, and then obviously West Ham scored a third as well. And it's a very good finish again from Haller. It's an overhead kick into the net, but he couldn't miss. But nice way for him to open his account, and 2 goals for Sebastian Haller. So obviously he is going to be a very, very important player for West Ham. So West Ham get their first win. Watford, though, rooted at the bottom of the Premier League, 3 straight defeats in a row. It's not looking good for Watford at the moment, and but it is still early on. But there are newspaper reports, and just newspaper reports. Do not take this with a pinch of salt. Do take these with a pinch of salt. But there were reports saying that Watford were looking to replace Javi Garcia. Now, I really hope that doesn't happen, because he did a wonderful job with Watford last season. So you would really, really hope that didn't happen. But it is a very, very good away win for West Ham. And shout to Fandan Goal, who was at the game, so he would have enjoyed that one. So very, very well done, West Ham. And yeah, so that was the 3 o'clock games. Now we come to the Saturday tea time game, which was Liverpool against Arsenal. Liverpool winning by 3-1 in this one. Now, obviously, the stats for this game were as follows: Liverpool 52% possession, Arsenal 48% possession. Liverpool had 25 shots in this game to Arsenal's 9. Liverpool had 5 shots on target. Arsenal had 3 shots on target. There were 6 corners to Liverpool, 4 corners to Arsenal. Fouls, 8 fouls for Liverpool and 5 fouls for Arsenal. Now, this game, I mean, it's quite strange to say this, but obviously Liverpool going 1-0 up at half time, obviously through a Matip goal. But there was a bit of confusion with this one because obviously Guendouzi and what's his name, Socrates, were all over Virgil van Dijk. Now, obviously, the referee said to Virgil van Dijk that he would have given a penalty had that ball not gone in the net. So VAR would have given a penalty at that point for Liverpool. But, Matip scores from a very good corner from Trent Alexander-Arnold. He now has 11 assists in 2019, the most of any fullback in the Premier League as well. Obviously Liverpool go 1-0 up, but Arsenal had their chances. Nicolas Pepe, who really impressed, I must say. He really did impress on that game. He was very, very good, but he did have a chance. He sprung the Liverpool defence. He whizzes past Jordan Henderson, whizzes past through Andy Robertson, and then he's only got Adrian to beat. But he has a shot, and it's saved by Adrian. So it was a poor finish, but did look like that he did actually mishit it. So it'd be very, very interesting to see that one as well. And then obviously, Adrian gets in a bit of a fumble, and it goes to Aubameyang, who's got the goal gaping. He does a wee lob, and it just goes wide. So, that was very, very close. And then Pepe again, he curls one. It's just wide of Adrian's post as well. So Liverpool very, very happy to go in at 1-0 at half time. But Arsenal did play very, very well in this game. And then obviously, in the 49th minute, Firmino plays in Salah. Salah is dragged back by David Luiz. It is a penalty. And obviously VAR, obviously Anthony Taylor points to the penalty spot. And Mohamed Salah comes up to take the penalty. Top bins, top corner. So that's 2-0 to Liverpool. And then in the 58th minute, Mohamed Salah basically gets the ball from Fabinho. He turns David Luiz. He basically goes past Nacho Monreal and curls it into the corner past Bernd Leno. Fantastic goal. And I did say on Twitter that Mohamed Salah has literally just sent back David Luiz back to Brazil / Chelsea in an instant. So obviously Liverpool were 3-0 up at that point, but in the 85th minute, Lucas Torreira pulls one back. And it was very, very good play. Aubameyang plays him in. Henderson misses a kick, and it goes to Torreira, and he scores from the rebound, basically. So it's a very, very good win for Liverpool. My only thing I'll say about Arsenal is played very, very well. But this is, I'm thinking that Lacazette now has never started at Anfield. I think I might have got that. I don't know if I've got that right. Any Arsenal fans want to say in the comments, but Lacazette has never started at Anfield. Now, why is this? He never seems to start in the big games, and especially at Anfield. So, when are we going to see Nicolas Pepe, Alexandre Lacazette, and Aubameyang up front? When are we going to see those front three? And why is Lucas Torreira on the bench? Could someone explain that to me? Because He is Arsenal's best midfielder. In my opinion, he is Arsenal's best player, best midfield player. Forget your Guendouzi, forget your Xhakas. He is definitely better than those two. So why is he on the bench? Maybe it's match sharpness, maybe it's match fitness. But obviously, with the North London derby coming up, he will probably start that game. So that is one thing I did want to say. Why is Lucas Torreira on the bench when Arsenal basically you should play your best 11 in this game, but they didn't. A very good win for Liverpool in this one, and Arsenal, it's another defeat away to Anfield, but it's not as bad as last year. Obviously 5-1 last year, but 3-1 this year. Now, that was the Saturday games. We will come into today's games, which were Sunday. And the first game that was played was Bournemouth against Manchester City. And it finished with 3-1 to Manchester City. So obviously the stats for this game. So Manchester City had 74% possession to Bournemouth's 26. It was 19 shots to Manchester City, 10 shots to Bournemouth. Bournemouth had 7 shots on target to Manchester City's 5. Corners 4 to Bournemouth, 5 to Manchester City. 7 fouls to Bournemouth and 13 fouls to Manchester City. Manchester City obviously won by 3-1. Could have been a lot different though. Obviously, first minute, Callum Wilson goes in. Obviously, tame effort saved by Ederson, who I will come to in a very, very minute. Kyle Walker should probably be sent off for a very, very bad tackle. And then obviously from that moment, and then obviously Ederson does get booked as well through a very bad tackle on Callum Wilson. So, City would have been praying for a yellow card for that. But he did get a yellow card. But for me, he's very, very late on Callum Wilson. For me, it's a red, but it's just one of those things. So, obviously from Ederson possibly being sent off, obviously he got the yellow card. To 2 minutes later, Sergio Aguero scores for Manchester City. So obviously that's 1-0. So a very, very good goal from Aguero, just reacting as quick as possible. Ball comes to the box. Loads of Bournemouth players trying to clear it. Goes to Sergio Aguero. He hits it bottom corner into the back of the net, and then Manchester City make it 2-0. David Silva plays on Raheem Sterling. Goal finish from Raheem Sterling. That's 2-0. And obviously Charlie Daniels picked up a knee injury in the first half. Harry Wilson comes on. Bournemouth are given a free kick. Harry Wilson takes it. It is absolutely inch perfect into the top corner for Bournemouth. So obviously they half the deficit at 2-1. And then Sergio Aguero in the 64th minute hits his 400th goal in professional football. And it's a very, very good finish. So obviously Manchester City win by 3-1. And again, it was another sort of reaction from Aguero to score that. But so it's a very, very tricky place to go to, the Vitality. So Manchester City coming 3-1 winners was very, very good. And obviously, like I said, Sergio Aguero has scored now 400 career goals for obviously club and country, and then obviously he's scored 235 goals now for Manchester City. So it's a very, very good away win for Manchester City, and they get a potential tricky away game out of the way. So a very good win for the citizens. We'll come to the tea time game, which was Tottenham against Newcastle, and Newcastle win their first match under Steve Bruce. Now, excuse me, it is a very, very good win for Newcastle. Stats for this game, I mean, kind of says it all right. Tottenham had 80% possession to Newcastle's 20%. They had 17 shots to Newcastle's 8. Only 2 on target for Tottenham. Now, this is why they lost. I will come to that very minute. Newcastle had 3 shots on target. Tottenham and Newcastle shared the corners. They both had 6 each. Tottenham had 10 fouls. Newcastle had 5. Wasteful finishing from Tottenham. I mean, Lucas Moura guilty of a really missed opportunity as well. So, and they were made to pay. Joe Linton gets the ball into the, he gets the ball and scores very, very well under Hugo Lloris. Very, very good finish from him. Longstaff, he tested Lloris as well. But Newcastle defended so well today. Never gave Harry Kane a sniff either. There was one that he actually Harry Kane had the fewest touches of any home player. He only had 24 touches. And actually, he's only scored 2 goals in his 9 Premier League appearances against Newcastle. So he seems to have a bit of a bogey side, and definitely Newcastle was one of them. So it's a very, very good win for Newcastle, and obviously Steve Bruce gets his first win as Newcastle manager. So they'll go back happy, knowing that they've finally got their first win. But Tottenham are very, very wasteful. But like I said, I'm not taking anything away from Newcastle. It is a very, very good 3 points for Newcastle, which I don't think anyone predicted this would happen. So very, very good win for Newcastle. Now, there was another game that had been played at 4:30 this afternoon, and it was Wolves against Burnley, and it was a 1-1 draw between Wolves and Burnley. Now, the stats for this game were as follows: 66% possession to Wolves, 35% to Burnley, 17 shots to Wolves, Burnley 13 shots, 2 shots on target to Wolves, 4 shots on target for Burnley, 4 corners for Wolves, 3 corners for Burnley, 9 fouls to Wolves and 11 fouls to Burnley. Now, Burnley took the lead through an absolute stunner from Ashley Barnes, who just cannot stop scoring. I think that's 4 goals this season so far. So, it seems to be Ashley Barnes against Timu Pukki for sure in this one in the Premier League Golden Boot race so far. But like I said, it's still early on. But absolute wonderful volley into the bottom corner past Rui Patricio, who had absolutely no chance. And then, Burnley played very, very well in the first half, and then they could have had more. Chris Wood has a shot saved by Rui Patricio, very, very good save, and then obviously me hits the post as well. So Burnley could have been 3-0 up at a half time. They were obviously made to pay right in the 96th minute, where Eric Peters unfortunately tries to kick the ball away. He catches Raul Jimenez, and VAR does give the penalty. And obviously the referee does give the penalty, but obviously VAR does confirm it. Raul Jimenez comes up to take the penalty, and he scores. So it's a 1-1 draw between Wolves and Burnley. So it's 3 consecutive draws for Wolves, whereas Burnley, they've started well, 4 points from 3 games. So it's a very, very good start for Sean Dyche and his players. And Wolves have a very, very tough game against Torino coming up, second leg. Can they make the Europa League group stage? That would be fantastic for them. So they would obviously join Manchester United and Arsenal into the Europa League group stage. And obviously good luck to Rangers and Celtic as well. Be good to see those 5 British teams in there. But for Wolves, a very, very good point, considering they didn't play very, very well. They wasted chances as well. Adama Traore, I've said it for a while, he is a peace merchant, doesn't have any end product. So it is a very, very interesting thing to say, but yeah, he is a bit of a peace merchant. So yes, so just to clarify, these are the results from Game Week 3. So Aston Villa 2, Everton 0, Norwich 2, Chelsea 3, Brighton 0, Southampton 2, Man United 1, Crystal Palace 2, Sheffield United 1, Leicester City 2, Watford 1, West Ham 3, Liverpool 3, Arsenal 1, Bournemouth 1, Man City 3, Tottenham 0, Newcastle 1, and Wolves 1, Burnley 1. Now let's go to the Premier League table as it stands so far, and we will see that Liverpool lead the way so far. They are top and got a 100% record so far with 3 wins. Manchester City are second with 7 points. Arsenal third with 6 points. Leicester City with 5. Manchester United in fifth with 4. And then there's a whole host of teams: Burnley, Tottenham, Brighton, Sheffield United, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Everton, Chelsea and West Ham all on 4 points. Wolves, Aston Villa, Norwich, Southampton, Newcastle all on 3, and Watford rooted to the bottom with 0 points. So that is it. That has been my review for the Game Week 3. Some very, very good fixtures where obviously I said 7 away wins, 2 home wins and 1 draw. So that must be a Premier League record, I think. 7 away victories. Who would have guessed that at the start of play for this week? But we shall see what happens next week. Obviously, it's the last game week before the international break, so will be very, very interesting as well. So my next video will be an SPFL review for the Game Week 3 as well, so I'll obviously be reviewing that as well. But thank you very much for watching this review, and if you do continue to like my content, then please hit that subscribe button. Please like, share, that would be fantastic for me. I've had some new subscribers lately as well, so the channel is growing every single day, so I'm very, very appreciate all the help that I can get. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll be back very shortly with another video very, very soon. But anyway, we shall look forward to Game Week 4. My Match Week 4 predictions will be out slightly earlier. I'm away to Taunton this weekend, so I will not be able to do it on my usual Thursday slot. So probably catch my predictions either Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. So I will do that then. But thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll be back very soon with another one. So take care, everyone. Bye bye.